Welcome to this week's episode of Taiwan Tech Update, your weekly roundup of tech news stories from here in Taiwan, presented by me, Tomasz Koper, and Radio Taiwan International. I have a packed show for you this week as one of Asia's biggest electronics expos, Computex, took place in Taipei from Tuesday to Friday. A number of big industry players gave big speeches with big numbers and big promises. But in the second part of today's show, I'll narrow down the focus and look at some smaller companies and how they're faring in this new landscape. But first, as always, let's look at Taiwan-related tech news stories for the week of May 30th to June 5th. On Monday, the Taiwanese electronics contract manufacturer Honhai, also known as Foxconn, announced two new partnerships that will expand its presence in Europe. They said they broke ground on a joint venture project named Thessalia Technology SAS with French companies Radial and Thales, which will focus on semiconductor packaging and testing, aiming to manufacture over 50 million systems in package products annually by 2033. Production is expected to begin by the end of 2029 and create around 800 jobs. Honhai also partnered up with the French computing and AI company Bol to jointly produce AI and cloud infrastructure for European and global markets. Also on Monday, two tech CEOs gave keynote speeches ahead of Computex, Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. Both highlighted the shift in the AI industry from content generation to AI agents, which are somewhat independent systems that can, in theory, tackle tasks which require multiple tools. Amon said he believes AI agents will reshape human-machine interactions and drive a new wave of hardware upgrades, with highly integrated computing platforms becoming a key factor in future competition. Huang seemed to generally agree, at least with how important agents will be to his company and the industry. Take a listen.
The compute pattern has changed. Everything has changed. So the first idea is that useful AI has arrived. AI is now a profit generator. AI is now a GDP generator. Behind it is a whole new kind of computing pattern. Not just a large language model, but an agent. Today, almost everything we're going to talk about is going to be based on this.
But Huang also made some pretty dramatic statements about the future of NVIDIA. The company's new chipset, Vera Rubin, goes all in on agentic AI, and so is the company, fully banking on the continued AI infrastructure build-out.
Whereas Grace Blackwell was created to process AI, particularly inference, Vera Rubin was created to run agents. It is in full production. It is much, much more than a GPU. It is an entire disaggregated, distributed agent processing system. NVIDIA has really become an infrastructure company, not just a GPU company, not just a systems company, but an infrastructure company to help you generate the maximum revenues, the maximum profit, and to get there as soon as possible.
And if you're like me, a PC enthusiast, well, there was something for us too in Huang's keynote, although it felt like it took a very distant back seat. The NVIDIA DGX Spark, powered by Grace Blackwell, is a new line of chips that we may soon see in laptops, desktops, and even workstation PCs. However, it's unclear what kind of real-world performance we may see in things like video games or video editing, because NVIDIA seems to be mostly focusing on the fact that the chip will be able to power AI agents. Seems we'll just have to wait for third-party reviews to find out more. Another important keynote came on Tuesday from Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan. He talked, among other things, about his company's partnership with TSMC, calling them both important and trusted partners, and said that he places greater importance on creating value together than on competition. He said that the transformation he has overseen over the last 14 months as CEO is just the beginning. So far, he's refocused the company's efforts on its core business and made engineering teams report directly to him. Tan aims to enhance technological and product competitiveness as well as operational efficiency. On Wednesday, another speech from a heavyweight CEO, this time Rafael Sotomayor from the Dutch semiconductor manufacturer NXP. He focused on physical AI, so one that can process and function in the physical world. Sotomayor said that for that to happen, AI must not just perceive the world, but understand it, like a robot that operates in the real world must understand physical forces like gravity, inertia, or friction. To address that, he proposed the neural axis architecture, which is divided into a reasoning layer, a coordination layer, and a reflex layer. The first handles high-level decision-making, the next one is responsible for dynamic balance and motion stability, and the final one manages low-latency responses and real-time control. The goal of all of that is to reduce errors in physical AI, which can result in damage to equipment or even pose risk to humans. So hardware systems must be designed with reliability in mind from the ground up. And finally, TSMC held its annual shareholders meeting on Thursday. Company chairman C.C. Wei said the stock price more than doubled and dividends grew by 30% in 2025, and he was confident that the good times will last in the coming years due to the ongoing AI boom. He also dismissed the possibility of competitors catching up, saying that Taiwan's semiconductor ecosystem and supply chain structure is impossible to recreate elsewhere in the short term. For Taiwan's economy's sake, let's hope that Wei's confidence is well-founded. Computex, the hum of the show floor, the flashing of LED boards, dazzling the eyes with logos and product demos. All of this inevitably takes me back in time to when I was taken to one of those around a decade ago. I wasn't even working in the media back then, but I jumped on a friend's offer to go scratch that nerdy itch and look at some cool new tech, most of which was far beyond my meager grad school budget. But back then, the show was more about consumer tech compared to what it has become in recent years. In 2026, when Computex broke records of participants and attendees distributed between multiple locations in Taipei, there was really just one thing that dominated the show floor: artificial intelligence. This year's theme was AI Together, and you could really feel that walking around the main show floors at the Nangang Exhibition Center. Taiwan is truly surfing at the peak of the AI wave, which washes over and transforms, sometimes fundamentally, everything adjacent to it, from hardware to software. But the main players in the industry, with their billion-dollar marketing departments, are doing a good enough job trumpeting their own successes to the world, including, I assume, my listeners. So after a quick look around the main aisles and the booths of tech giants with tight-lipped marketing personnel, I decided to venture out into the edges and corners of the show floors to explore the effects of the AI boom in Taiwan. A lot of focus this year was on AI agents, partially autonomous systems that may get an unprecedented level of access to your devices in the near future. And if you're anything like me, that set off alarm bells in your head and deep concerns about security. Luckily, many startups here in Taiwan are noticing that problem and see it as a business opportunity. Here are two founders explaining their solutions.
I'm Gavin from Opera Technology. I think that there are a lot of people are talking about AI, and mostly you can see the trend about this AI. But after this AI, deploy into enterprise or even deploy in your home, how to make sure about the security of these AI agents? Because of that you got a lot of things have to depend on this kind of AI agents. They can do a lot of things, calling the phone, or just help you to handle your emails, or your some secret files, and a lot of complicated process inside these companies. they will rely on AI agents to help do a lot of things. But the question is, if your AI agents can talk to the other hackers, then the problem will happen because of a lot of hackers will know your treasure and know your privacy issues. And most important of all, because of you open the permission for them, then they can do everything to handle your treasure. So that's the problem. And that's the reason why we also see this kind of trend. And we like to let people know that security is very important.
How is your company's solution helping with that problem?
Okay. Usually, if you want to have a successful attack, a very important three things is to find you, knows about you, and have some active. So they got some test and you got a response, then will becomes possible. But thing is, most of the people will likely to use VPN, virtual private network. They use the VPN from the external network into the inside network. But the question is, you are using VPN. Hackers also know about this because of VPN is a kind of explosion network. It explodes into the internet. Everyone can use it. Everyone can have the activate. So people can find you, know you, and attack you. That's the problem. But you can think about kind of a concept. If you are invisible in the internet, means that no target to attack. If no target to attack, you become secure. I will not say 100% secured, but actually it must be more secure than the traditional way.
What about securing funding? Are investors too focused on AI? If you're not doing AI, they don't care?
Mostly will be that. But if you are saying about to secure everything, you know that security is always the popular things we want to talk. And investors actually, what I see, what they care is next step. If you are deploying AI agents now, means that there will be another bomb will be fired in the next. So they will not only focus on AI now because of compared to previous year, they are just talking about hardware of AI. Now it should be AI agents of this, and then will be the security of AI. So some of the customers has already started to find this kind of a product. The next will be investor will also invest for this. Yeah.
My name is Nicolas. I'm the co-founder and CTO of IIST. It's a Taiwanese IC design company specialized in creating cybersecurity solutions on chip. AI is driving the demand for interconnected network. And by consequences, interconnected networks means more open gates for hacking, more surface of vulnerabilities. So the need for having IoT is jointly driven with the need of AI. We need everything connected to collect data, and that makes cybersecurity a very big issue now. Something that didn't have to be secure before, now has to be secure before, because it's a matter of time before your coffee machine asks for access to your Google account. We imagine we imagine a world where every machine is actually just like a human, so it has a human DNA. We can imagine an agent, an AI agent, is going to talk, is going to read your email, so that means it's going to have to password login for your email or FIDO, is going to have to sign your data, is going to have to read your contract. Actually, he already behaves like a human that needs a face to be recognized, that needs a fingerprint to unlock things. So we consider routers, firewall, server, device, cell phones, everything connected. We consider them having a need to generate their own identity, their own security. So we created this DNA on chip that can help every device becoming autonomous. I'm going to be the reason Terminator happened. If we have a technique to manufacture chips that all have the unique DNA, that means they all have the ability to sign. So you have a hand signature, I have a hand signature. I can try to copy your hand signature, but it's not going to be perfect. And it's going to be the same with chips. We can see that every future robot is actually a Wi-Fi router with wings and camera. So everything needs to be recorded. So this is a trust issue. And it's not the one you have with your spouse, it's the one you have with your device. So this... we're going to have to know if this data, this image is taken by a Sony camera and then whether it has been processed via a filter using AI, whether it has been tempered, whoever adds something, that works for signing PDF, that works for scanning document. Before AI, there was only 1% of people who could fake a document. They were expert in Photoshop. Now everyone can do it just with a phone. So we need to have new measures like standard like C2PA or SynthID, FIDO, signature, a new way to put back this percentage to 1% of try harder.
As you've just heard, there are many different approaches to security in the age of agentic AI, based both in software and hardware. Thank you to Gavin Xu from Opuerba and Nicolas Fayet from IST for giving me a glimpse of their products. But the AI boom is not all good news, at least not for everyone. Many in the industry and some in the media are noticing that skyrocketing prices of components like RAM, storage, GPUs, and silicon in general are having a knock-on effect on manufacturers of PC components. Fewer people buying parts and building computers means that manufacturers of things like cases, cables, power supply units, and many others are feeling the squeeze. The independent tech outlet Gamers Nexus recently investigated the issue through in-depth interviews with a number of affected companies. I highly recommend checking out their report that you can find on their YouTube channel. I was curious, though, how participants of this year's Computex felt about the problem.
My name is Steven. I'm from the Sunxin company in China. Yes, as you know, our PC case is always with RAM, memory, and another hardware together. So if the RAM price, memory price is going up too high, so the end user will be feeling very stronger for the price going too high. So the customer will be think very carefully if I want to buy a new computer or not buy. But now the price is very high, so it's really the impact for our sales also. It means that our customer, the buying the quantity will be reduced. And before 1 month will be one order, but now it may be 3 months one order like this. Because the customer's selling will reduce.
Do you think that the market will come back, or are you thinking of other strategies?
I think we'll come back, but it depends on the memory and flash price will be come back. This is most important issues. If the memory and RAM, motherboard and other price come back to normally, I think the PC market it will be come back also.
This is Ryder from Qingxi. Nice to meet you. Last year, a lot of customers they complain with me. The memories and SDR the price too high. That's due to the all PC companies down and the PC companies market is slow. So I believe in this year, all the company and other PC gaming authorities will be returned. The market will going up. The price will return the normal.
Why do you think it will come back to normal?
Because this is Computex 2026. Now I have received a lot of requests from global, from European, American. To be honest, I even see the Iran and the India customer. They say the price okay, it's good. I can send it. I can buy it. So I think this market will be returned. Will go back to normal.
Do you think this is because consumers are getting used to high prices of RAM and memory and just accept it? Like, okay, I won't wait for prices to come back. I'll just buy and build my computer now.
Maybe it's right. I agree with your point.
Hi, my name is Otto Choi. I'm a marketing manager at Cougar Gaming, and we primarily are a brand. We manufacture PC components, which runs from everything from cases to power supplies and also gaming chairs. So I think the impact is felt industry-wide, especially in such a tech-heavy country like Taiwan. When I say impact, I mean that the market has shrunk somewhat, so we do see a little bit of a slowdown in terms of demand. But whereas that affects chipsets and high-end processing components like CPUs and GPUs a little bit more, we do take that opportunity to recognize some emerging trends within the industry. The high prices of RAM are a reflection of the growing demand of AI applications. And so we take this opportunity to develop products geared increasingly towards that side of the industry. And also, it's a good opportunity to upgrade peripherals, especially if you have a very, very high-end graphics cards or memory, you want to protect those components. And I think this is a good time. We see this as the opportunity in the market for people to upgrade their existing supportive components, such as cases or cooling. And that's where we're heading now as a brand.
So people will take better care of the equipment they do still have.
Yes, I believe so, and it now is a better time than any. For example, like if we're talking about serious applications, people are gaming more. That's becoming increasingly in unison with other applications, such as I was talking about, like AI and some other automated workflow applications. And of course, the thermal demands of this is a big thing. So we are gearing our products more towards that, better airflow and better thermal overheads and more efficient power delivery. So we do see that as an opportunity in the market.
Do you think that trend is here to stay, or are we going to see a reversal of that?
I don't think we're going to see a reversal of that anytime soon. At this juncture, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's an inevitability. How much it accelerates in the coming years might be an uncertainty, but I think the trend is very clearly here to stay.
My name is Andreas Rudnicki. Company is AlphaCool International, based in Germany, Braunschweig. It's a high impact, to tell you the truth, because if the customers are not spending money for the mainboard, for the GPUs and CPUs and the RAMs, and don't build their own custom PCs, then we have also the same issue. Usually they are buying also our parts to cool it down and to make it more nice, cleaner, and for gaming, also for overclocking. But in this field, DIY gamer market, it's really massive damage.
Are you pivoting to enterprise solutions?
We pivoted in 2017, so this field is still stable. Since 2017, we built server cases for water cooling purpose, also like DIY server cooling, and this is still stable since last year. There's no impact at all.
Are you hoping for the consumer part of your business to come back? Do you think it will come back?
Everyone is hoping that it comes back. We will see, maybe in the beginning of next year or mid of next year, it will come back because in Germany and in Europe they are saving the money. You paid before maybe 6,000 euro for a high-end PC with 5090 card. Right now it's what, about 12,000. So the customers are waiting and saving the money.
Well, opinions certainly aren't uniform, but if there is optimism among manufacturers, it seems to be at best cautious. Huge thanks to Stephen Wang from Sunxi, Ryder May from Qingxi, Otto Choi from Cougar, and Andreas Rudnicki from AlphaCool for giving me their time. Well, it seems that artificial intelligence boom is impacting everything in the electronics industry, for better or worse. New business opportunities are pushing a new generation of startup founders to find solutions to problems never seen before, while others are trying to adjust their business models to this new reality. I can't help but wonder how different the landscape will be next year at Computex 2027 and where the industry will find a new equilibrium. My personal hope is that in all of this AI madness sweeping over the world, personal computing enthusiasts like me, and hopefully you, dear listener, will still be able to find an affordable niche, and tech giants won't price us out of the market, put all the compute in data centers, and rent it out to us by hour. That's all I have for you in this week's edition of Taiwan Tech Update. Thank you for staying with me, and if you have any ideas or opinions on the show, its format, topics, or just technology in general, you can email them to me at Tomasz, that's TOMASZ, @rti.org.tw. Please include Taiwan Tech Update or TTU in the subject line. I'm your host, Tomasz Koper, and I'll be back with another update next week.